Welcome everyone to my figure comparison for Aquaman based on the DCEU, as we have the Medicom Mafex as well as the Tamashii Nations S.H Figuarts versions from his solo movies. So it is a very straightforward release, as it is Aquaman primarily in his main suit design. The orange, the greens and the gold colours, heavily inspired from the comics. I do like how he's kept the same look, because I know a lot of these superhero films, they do like to change up the suits. So let's first take a look at the Aquaman design. So as you can see, on the left is the Mafex version, on the right is the S.H Figuarts one. And let's first start off with the sizing. So Mafex figures have always been proportionately slightly bigger than SHF. You can see that this Jason Momoa figure is a lot more bulky, more muscular in terms of the body. Whereas the S.H Figuarts one, they've gone for like a slightly smaller scale. Even though he is slightly bigger than the other DC characters in comparison, he is still relatively small compared to its counterpart. So in terms of the height, you can see that also Mafex trumps it in terms of front to front, as well as back to back and side to side. It's a lot taller. And in terms of the colors, I would say that even though they're meant to be the same suit design, there is a slight difference. Mafex has a lot more darker shading tones to the orange, which I believe is more screen accurate. Whereas the S.H Figuarts one, they've gone for like a lighter orange, more in line with a goldish color. And it really is personal preference, even though the Mafex one is probably a bit more accurate. As for the greens, you can see on the arms and legs, I think the S.H Figuarts one has gone for like a lighter tone, whereas the Mafex one is slightly darker. And then if you look at the green colors on the trousers, I think the S.H Figuarts one this time has gone for the darker colors, whereas the Mafex one has gone for the lighter ones. So again, it is really personal preference which design you like, although I must say the Medicom one is probably a bit more screen accurate. And then the other main thing, of course, is that you can see that on the arms, now you can see the S.H Figuarts one is a lot sharper in terms of his arm guards. Same with the legs, they do have a much more pointed look, but you can see the Mafex one, it doesn't really point out too much on the arm guards or the legs. And then another difference I did notice is that on the S.H Figuarts one, the side flaps, they are kind of movable, whereas the Mafex one, they don't move at all. And then in terms of the face sculpts, I will have to zoom in for this. So you can see that the Mafex version, again, is a very good look of Jason Momoa. I do like the overall look of it. His head is slightly more shrunk in the body, so you don't actually get to see much of the neck. Whereas the S.H Figuarts one, you can see that it has a bit more of a neck, although you can't really see it. And the main design of the face sculpt is also pretty good. It is personal preference. I would say that the Mafex one probably looks slightly more like the actor, whereas the S.H Figuarts one, you can see the beard as well as the hairstyle is a lot more darker. But I like the way the hair is done on the S.H Figuarts one. It kind of flows to the front, whereas the Mafex one has gone for like a flowing to the back. So in terms of accuracy, I'll say Mafex, but in terms of detail, I'll go for the S.H Figuarts version. And now we can take a look at the comparison with the accessories. So let's start off with the alternative hands. So both of the Aquaman figures out of the box comes with the fisted hands. So for the first set of alternative hands, both of the Aquaman figures include a set of open palms or relaxed hands, and they can be used for certain action poses like a swimming lurk. The third set of alternative hands, both of the figures include a set of grappler hands, which once again can be used for a neutral pose or an action pose. And the fourth and final set of hands for both of these figures include a set to hold on to his main weapon, which of course is the trident. And here is a look at the main weapon, the trident, of course held in both the hands for a signature pose. I believe the scale is proportionately correct to its own figure. So the Mafex one is slightly taller and bigger to match up with its own figure, and it's the same for the S.H Figuarts version. And in terms of the colors, I do prefer the S.H Figuarts one. They've gone for a goldish yellow color, which I believe is more screen accurate. For the Mafex one, I don't know why they've gone for the orange type of paint. I know in certain lightings in the film maybe it did look like this, but for some reason I don't think it blends as well with the actual suit compared to the gold one on the SHF version. And now we can take a look at the alternative head sculpt, as both of these figures include one extra one. As I mentioned before, the Mafex has a better accuracy, whereas the S.H Figuarts one probably has the better paint and detail on their face sculpt. Of course, the hairstyles are different, so it is really personal preference. So now let's switch up the alternative head sculpts. So here is the alternative head sculpt switched out on both the figures. On the left, the Mafex one has gone for an angry look, which is pretty standard by now as we've seen it in their previous Aquaman figures. For the S.H. Figuarts, it's really creative, a game changer for me, as they've gone for the underwater effect, which is seen for the first time, and I really like it in comparison to the original head sculpt. For some reason, Tamashii Nations don't tend to do the angry faces in their figures, but I really like how they've given us this water effect type of look on Aquaman. And this is where the difference kicks in for the S.H. Figuarts, as we have the underwater effects added onto the figure. You can attach it to the body, the arms, the legs, as well as the trident. And this is very creative. It's a game changer for me, especially paired up with that alternative head sculpt. And I feel Tamashii Nations had to do something like this to really compete with the Mafex one. Of course, there are still some elements where the Mafex has done something better, but overall adding these water effects is one of the main differences and one of the key reasons why I feel the S.H. Figuarts is the better figure. And now for the size comparison, standing next to a Medicom Mafex Zack Snyder's Justice League Aquaman. Here it is next to the Mafex Mera. Here it is next to an S.H. Figuarts Wonder Woman. Next to a McFarlane Toys The Flash, next to a Marvel Legends Spider-Man, next to a Jada Toys Ryu, and next to a DC Collectibles Arrow. So now for my final thoughts on the comparison between the Medicom Mafex and the Tamashii Nations S.H. Figuarts Aquamans for their respective lines. I feel both the figures are good in their own way. Take into account the Mafex one was a 2020 release, whereas the S.H. Figuarts one was 4 years later. For the Mafex one, I do like the scale, the body proportions, as well as the accurate head sculpt. For the S.H. Figuarts one, I like the better paint, and of course we have those underwater effects. Both of the figures include the same number of hands as well as a trident. Although I do prefer the design on the Mafex trident, I do like the colours of the S.H. Figuarts one to match with the suit. For me, the Mafex one, you do also have the opportunity to get more DC characters like Mera as well as Black Manta, and of course the Justice League members. However, if you don't mind fitting in the S.H. Figuarts one with some of the Mafex, I feel that this one is a lot different since Mafex have already done 3 Aquamans. And also the inclusion of the underwater effects as well as the head sculpt is really a game changer for me, and it really improves on the Mafex version. If you have the Mafex one, I wouldn't say it's a must to get the S.H. Figuarts as well, but of course if you're looking for your first Aquaman Alpha Curry, the S.H. Figuarts could well be an option. For me personally, I do like the Mafex DC line more since they do more of the characters and more of the accessories, but it feels like this time I'm going with the S.H. Figuarts. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and of course be sure to check out my Aquaman reviews by Medicom Mafex as well as the Tamashii Nations S.H. Figuarts line. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.